Well, ladies and gentlemen, up next, we're all set to delve deeper into the Erasmus Plus Capacity Building in Higher Education, or the CBHE initiatives, with a presentation now from a key figure who has been instrumental in guiding these efforts. It's my pleasure to introduce to all of you Mr. Eugenio Delfino, who is the project advisor and Sri Lankan CBHE coordinator for the European Union, and his expertise and dedication has been instrumental in advancing our CBHE project. So we're now delighted to hear him address the gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Eugenio Delfino.
So, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I can have to admit that I have some pressure, I feel, some pressure, for this responsibility that we have today. Because talking about you, all 20 states university, 28 other higher education institutions in the country connected online, is a huge responsibility. But I'm glad that I will not be alone to carry out these tasks, because during the 4 years we have worked together with many partners, many universities. And I will share this duty and this task with them today. So then I think better than me will be able to show in concrete terms how capacity building for higher education could be a real possibility of change for the future generation of the student in Sri Lanka. So, as I was saying, it's a real pleasure to be with you today at the Easy Info session organized by the Ministry of Education, and in particular by the Erasmus National Focal Point. But actually, I just realized that I used the same sentence on last February, when we have the first online meeting that was broad, tackling the Erasmus Plus program. So what is the difference now? So since February, we work and we increase our relationship as a European Commission with the Ministry of Education in Sri Lanka to better understand the needs of the Sri Lankan higher education institution in respect of their international dimension. And to make this possible, let me just thank Mrs. Asika Lingane, the Director of the Overseas Education and of the Ministry of Education. Then we work on a method. And I think all we agree that on the methodology to be followed. And we found that the best way to promote this action was to give the voice to those actors that were spending their energy with a lot of passion and commitment, trying to build up a new path in the different area of competence. And as Dr. has already underlined, we came up to identify 4 areas of common interest from the European Union perspective and the Sri Lankan perspective. And then we invite 13 among the many projects that we are having here in the country. We invite those that have played a crucial role during these 3-4 years to improve the education and intervention in the country. So as you know, we will go in to talk and listen experience on energy, sustainable tourism, health, environment, and university enterprise collaboration. And for this purpose, we also invite all the ministries that are attending the meeting today, with business sector and national association. So let me start now. Let's see if it's working. Yeah, good. a presentation. I will be, so in my presentation, aim is actually to have just give you an overview. I will not giving you too many details. There will be a time for that, but I think the audience we have, I think the major point is to catch the attention on the purpose and give some example on how it works. As John was saying before, in November we are going to have the Info Day, and on that particular moment we are going to give you many details, technical details on how to apply and things. So I will encourage, if you are interested, then at the end of the meeting and the end of the conference, you are still interested in the program, in the action, November will be a good opportunity to further step with. So as you can see, capacity building for higher education has many objectives, but mainly is about building capacity for higher education institutions of the targeted country, and able to produce a real change and a hope for the future generation. Mainly support projects that are able to have an impact on social impact, accessibility, modernization of higher education institutions, cooperation on regional integration, governance, but most of all is about innovation. So how we can do the same thing in a better way. So yesterday I was just trying to find, that's why I was so late with sending out the slide. I will try to be practical. That's the purpose of the meeting today. So how does it work in practice? So first of all, you have to think about a consortium that is constituted of higher education institutions, but not only. So higher education institutions have a key roles in coordinating, because higher education institutions give the methods of how to implement the action. But there, all around, there are many other actors. As we said, the business sector is playing definitely an important role, because it's the link from present to the future, thinking about the lives of the student. Then, of course, you have to set a proposal, and writing the proposal, we will see later on, you need to focus on needs. What is important? You will listen many times this word during the following hours from the different projects that we are going to present. And then once the package is ready, you send out. There is a competition, a fair competition, assessing and the most valuable project will be grant fund. The main point of this action is devoted to the third countries. And again, the focus is the need. The starting point is what we need, what we could do in a better way. That's why at the beginning we were saying, we were sharing with the Ministry of Education what is important for you and how we can collaborate. It's a partnership. And so what then the role about the European University? The European University are there in order to share their own experience for the good of new courses, for example, on waste management, on energy, as we said. But everything, including purchase of equipment, mainly, is all dedicated to, in this case, to the country, Sri Lanka. So briefly, just to give you an overview about the region eligible for capacity building, you will see that under Region 5, there are 18 countries that are able to participate at this action. So then, Who can participate? As already said, we are targeting higher education institution. And as I already also said, as a participant, enterprises and other institutional body active in the field of education are crucial for reaching out the project objective. So we were saying before that we share priorities. The 5 actually are 4 for Asia, overarching priority defined by the European Union working for this mandate are related to the Green Deal, digital transformation, governance, peace, human development, and sustainable job growth and job. So here, I really sum up. We have 3 strands, cover different kind of need. So the first one is the access to cooperation in international processes and fostering inclusion. So this strand, we will see, of course, the slide, I see many people that are taking picture. I hope that is not about me, but the slides. And anyhow, I can assure you that you will receive all the slides. So if you give me some picture, I will be glad to then. So the first action is about newcomers. So less experienced higher education institution. We judge that this is a fair grant. The grant is from 200,000 to 400,000. The duration is 2-3 years. We will see then in later on how is structured. The second one is the flagship. I think in Sri Lanka, all projects we found we grant is about the strand 2. So this partnership for transformation and innovation. The grant here is higher. Is higher also the responsibility and the duties that are come with, and the same duration. Now, the structural reform. The structural reform, you can see, is bigger, and actually at the moment we are not having any project with that, because it is not about innovation at institution level, but a systemic level, so broadly and national, and involve, of course, the Ministry of Education in this case. So, okay, so now we can go deeper on this one. So I will just give you as is an action, is a strand that is apparently not, let's say, considered. For the time being in Sri Lanka. Let me spend a few words on this. So this is, we call this the entry point, and should facilitate the access to newcomers. Mainly is about trying to reduce the internationalization gap of higher education institutions from the same country or region. We will see later on what does it mean a project focus, a national project focus on Sri Lanka, for example, and broadly regional in refer to the Asia, and involving some of the 18 countries there. So the target is the newcomer or less experienced higher education institution, and also is targeting students and staff with fewer opportunity. It's mainly about giving the possibility of open an international office, for example. But you have here on your right some example on that. Then strand 2, as I was saying, that is really the flagship of capacity building, and of course, without saying, also in Sri Lanka. So here I was mentioning that the key word is innovation in higher education, and is about promoting the international reforms of higher education institutions. And here we can really, let's say, see how the collaboration, the link between higher education institution and the business sector can really match and work. Usually, some of the partners here knows how I insist that in the end, yes, okay, this is a good collaboration, but what about the end? What about the output, the income? Did you sign any memorandum of understanding between higher education institution and business club in order to really not just talk, but give a path? I think is the most important issue is for the student to come is to give the possibility of path. Sometimes are lost on their way to find the purpose and not only a job. But I think that is very important in this sense, the role that the educational institution has in their life. Then this slide is much more for the Ministry of Education rather than you, but this trend is about structural reform project. I think is very interesting. We have also many examples. I'm also coordinating the project in the Philippines and in Laos, and it could be a powerful tool in order to guarantee a change at systemic level. So now we go a little bit in and see how the three types of capacity building projects are structured. It's useful, this part, because later on you're going to better understand when the colleagues will talk about national project, multi-country regional project, and multi-country cross-regional project. So the first one, you can see easily here, there's a national project targeting Sri Lanka. That's easy, stop. Involving at least one third country not associated to the Erasmus Plus, you read Sri Lanka, and then at least 2 member states or other country not associated to the program. Yes, it's mainly by that. The objective is clear, Sri Lanka. The second one is about multi-country regional projects, so involving, for example, other country of Asia. I recall now an example that we recently viewed, for example, involving CESTUR in tourist development together with India and Nepal, for example. So it's about benchmarking. We were talking yesterday, a few days ago with them. Is compare how does it work in your country, how we can do better, we have the same needs, what is the difference? Is a dialogue that is, yeah. And then there is the multi-country cross-regional project. So this one I'm not so good to sell it because it's the most, let's say, difficult one. You really have to find the common factor, the X factor that can link really needs of different continents. So it's a little bit hard to reach because sometimes we feel that is much more artificial than real, let's say that. So how does it work? The main point, also you are going to listen many cases today, is about work packages. So you define the big box, and then it's like a matryoshka. And then there are activities, milestones, and deliverables. I think later on I put a list of definitions, so I think it will be very useful to identify precisely and to have the same understanding on those words. But it will be easier again on listening to our colleagues later on. The budget, perspective, the budget approach is the proposal based on lump sum. So for each work package, let's say project management, you allocated a certain amount of money. Let's say we need 50,000 euro to manage this work package. And then is this, if you arrive to justify that, the second step, if that evaluator that are in charge of evaluating the proposal will set if is reasonable or not. And based on this, there is the lump sum that is fixed and will stay like that until the end of the project. So no more real cost to take care or think about. So that the proposal, okay, that's, I have to confess, that is a little bit technical, but it helps to understand on which basis a proposal is granted. So the relevance, then the quality of the project design and implementation, the quality of the partnership, so who is working together, is main, and sustainability, impact, and dissemination on expected result. I think later on we will see a little bit, this is just, as you can see from the slide, the first two are higher scores because we do care about the relevance. So the relevance is about the needs analysis again. The quality of the project, how it's structured. And then the quality of the partnership is also crucial for us because it gives us an understanding if is like a very abstract composition, or if there is something behind that will be about the project. And sustainability impact, that is one of the, also the key factor for that, how the project will survive, will be able to sustain. As already mentioned by Joan, the timeline for the annual call for proposals, so the publication will be in November. And at the same time, we are going to have this famous info day for capacity building for higher education. The deadline will be mid-February. Unfortunately, we do not have still the precise deadline because it's not only depending from us. And then we have this evaluation process, March, July, and then August, and then the project should start on December or January. So now I would like to share with you some slides on how is the composition of the project. So you can see, as I was saying before, strand 2, that is, this one covered a large part of the budget. Strand 1 was the newcomers strand, and then the strand 3, because of the political implication that has at national level in each case, is the first part, which is quite notable. On there you will see in red more or less an average on for 2022-2023, an average on the number of participants. We talked before about consortium, so the consortium more or less, including European and third country, the project is about 10. And the successful, well, so for this year, for 2024, the selection is ongoing. We receive 969 proposals. More or less, so the success rate is about 20%. Yeah. So this is the budget allocated particularly to the Asia region and the number of projects that are allocated. Okay. Here, this not very clear slide, I have to say, is that, so the region 5 is, yes, this one. and is about Asia. The region 9, the green one, is a region related to Sub-Sahara Africa. So you see that Asia are consuming, is on the second place on this part. Yeah, that is similar, and this is about the budget allocated to the different region. So again, you see region 5, Asia, how much is allocated. Okay, this is, I think, is much more interesting, and the same. These are the 3 out of the 4 priorities that we are sharing together. So, Green Deal, digital transformation, and sustainable jobs are the 3 overarching priorities that are more, let's say, successful and request for that. And the same proportionality is also applying for Sri Lanka in this case. Okay, here is interesting, but because it's located Sri Lanka, the country, and the rest of the Asia component, as far as the coordinating project. What we're trying to insist is about ownership. We do like Europeans coordinating, because from our perspective, they know the rules, they have different, they also have different possibility of play with Erasmus, so they know the in-house rules. The real challenge for us is when a third country not associated to the program, so in this case Sri Lanka, take the initiative and coordinate a project. I'm pretty sure that you will listen. It's not easy, but it's feasible, and you will listen their story. Actually, the first step is also another possibility, is start to enter in this program as partner. So less, let's say, responsibility in terms of management of the project, but then give a very interesting perspective on how the project is structural, how to implement the results. And you can see that Sri Lanka is, in this case, is allocated in the middle of the participating country from Asia. So now, and I will finish, I think that was useful to present, and actually have been requested by the Erasmus National Focal Point to spend some word on how can be practical, what we want, what are the exercises. But again, it will be easier to listen from the real voice of work together. Again, the focus of, there are needs. So the capability that you have to describe their needs in whatever sector you decide is crucial. And then the other thing is that combine that with the targeting priorities to maximize the benefit of it. So now we spend a few words on the criteria. The first one, of course, is relevant. But I think that this will be much easier if we got a little bit further. So everything is here, you will find in the application form. And you just have to think about that and reply to the questions that are helpful in order to have a structure of the proposal as well. So the work criteria is about purpose, objective, linked to the EU policy initiative, and the EU added value. So the EU added value is you were able to implement this project without our help, yes or no? Well, the second criteria is the quality project of design and of implementation. And here you have coherence, methodology, work plan, budget, quality control, and environmental sustainability that we do care a lot. The coherence, yes, is mainly about consistency between the project objective, the methodology that you are going to have, the activity, and the budget proposal. The methodology is about how you plan the output and outcomes if they are coherent and feasible. And the work plan is about the quality of efficiency of the work plan. And the budget, of course, is if it's efficient or not. Okay. Then we pass to the quality, but we already talked about the ownership that we do care and we are look for, in particular for third countries not associated to the program. And then this one, the last one, is one of the most difficult. So again, we were anticipated already how the project will survive at the end after the expiring day. So again, I'm repeating myself. I'm having a tour around the Sri Lanka and visiting the project, as you heard, and it's very much interesting to how the university and you, the Vice Chancellor, are taking care about this, putting together all the creativity you can have and can use in order to sustain the project and the people that are working on that. Of course, we do care about open access. So the fact that you are working on a specific topic, that you get results from a European perspective, we think that open access, so have the possibility to share this knowledge for the good of the most, is very much useful. Now we are coming to the end. So, short, what we are looking for, the clear and ambitious proposal that correspond to the needs, the results that make the difference in several levels, but impact, as we said, is crucial. And coherence with the work plan and the competent team. A competitive application demonstrates that the combination of these elements will produce a concrete sustainable result. The key word is sharing your ideas and work together with the consortium and the partner. Yeah. We have the tendency to say that, okay, now I got the grant, is done. But actually, it's not really like that, because normally in life, the recognition the recognition of a success is, I would say, more a starting point and never a final destination to reach. So meaning implying much more responsibility on how you are going to implement that. There are parts to be that are tricky a little bit. Sometimes we do care about coherence. So you should be able to understand that from our perspective, we assess the file on the basis of the coherence. For example, yes, with this project, we'll have the possibility to have internship in business sector. But then, on the other side, if we see that there are not business as a part of the consortium, that will be less, let's say, credible, the proposal. I think the last slide is about terminology and key. This is much more a reading purpose of that, but it's very much important that everybody has we have the same understanding of what the key words of a proposal are. This is another practical example that you will have the possibility to see about terminology. And here you have an example of deliverables, for example, on project management. But I think that this is a little bit too technology. So the last slide, really promise, is some tips for applicant. Again, be coherent, concrete, remain focused. So be explicit, realistic, double check your proposal, be clear, and keep it simple. That are the key elements that will give you the opportunity to arrive in the end and implement your project. So here you have some useful link for preparing your application. And the last word will be Stuti.
We say thank you very much to Mr. Eugenio Delfino for that very interesting, insightful, and enlightening presentation. I'm sure we all agree, ladies and gentlemen, that Mr. Delfino's expertise as well as his support are very crucial to all of us and the success of our Erasmus CBHE projects, and we do appreciate all of the insights that he shared with us this morning.